welcome to another episode of Ranger Touring. We're back out here at Diagula National Park to check out some of the more complex tracks around the area. Last time we were here, we did one of the sort of scenic drives, checking out the Gantry and Rocky Hole, but this time we're going to try and do the Western Escarpment track and a brake track as well. So my parents come along for this one. They've got a nice 200 series. So we've just pulled onto the dirt road now. We're going to let the tyres down to about 25 psi. Follows this for another 10 k's before turning off onto the forestry drive, but to make the ride a bit more comfortable, drop the tyres. For this episode, we're starting at the southern end of Diagula National Park and we're taking Lacey's Creek Road to then turn right onto Forest Drive. That'll take us to some of the more complex obstacles in the national park. On Forest Drive, the road starts out climbing up the hill and it sort of starts in a bit more of a bushland area. After a while it kind of turns into a rainforest area and the track gets a lot narrower with a lot more rocks and sort of shaly hills you've got to climb up. Nothing too hectic whatsoever. We have dropped the tyres to 25 psi and it did have to engage four-wheel drive but not low range.
Take me down, there's no
So we've just started a brake track. This has never been open every time I've been here, so I'm pretty excited. It's meant to be the steepest track in Dairgula National Park, the most complex, so should be a bit of a fun for a drive. See how this goes. Straight up. So we're just coming to the end of a brake track now, and then we're going to head up to the Gantry for lunch. A brake track is actually not too difficult, especially when it's dry. Even though there's been a lot of rain in the last couple of weeks, and even as far as last night, all you'd really need is a low range gearbox and a bit of a steady foot on the accelerator. If you're heading up from the south, it's quite a steep climb and it has a lot of rises, but then once you're at the top, it really is quite a simple forest trail. If you're heading from north to south, obviously then, yeah, that's definitely when low range and sort of crawling down those hills would become quite important. But probably the only bit of advice I could give for the track is I would not attempt that when it was wet or raining at the time, because it was reasonably loose in some areas and you did have to give it a bit of right foot. However, if it was wet, it would become quite dangerous and quite slippery. And to be fair, I think the park would probably close it in a lot of those times. But first time doing it, and had a really good time on the track. Had lunch at the Gantry, and now for the afternoon we're heading out on the Western Escarpment Trail to check out the Somerset Dam lookout. Should be a good little drive around. It's just a circuit, it comes back towards the Gantry, and then after that we're going to head over to Rocky Hole as our last little bit for the day before heading back to Brisbane. Should be fun. So we've just come up the Western Escarpment Trail, which has been a lot of fun so far. It's actually a lot more diverse, I guess, than I remember. Lots of rocky hills, some mud puddles because of the rain. Anyway, we've just parked up here, Somerset Lookout now, and we're just gonna walk up the track and have a quick squeeze, probably put the drone up. But you've got an awesome view that comes up here, so should be pretty spectacular. Just heading home now from Rocky Hole. Gonna head to the Gantry, pump up the tyres, and then we'll continue south back to Brisbane. But it's been a good day out. Jaguar National Park really has a wide variety of tracks for people of all skill levels. I wouldn't say there's necessarily anything too hard out here, but it's definitely a good spot if you're going to take the family out, or just in general want to get to know your four-wheel drive. Again, if you're into bikes, there's heaps of bike tracks, motorbike and push bike tracks. So again, think about this as an area maybe to come out and enjoy the day. Rocky Hole was incredibly popular today as well, and I guess maybe coming here on off weekends would probably be a bit more beneficial, just to have the place to yourself, because it was quite busy this afternoon. But hey, it doesn't take away from it. It's still a really nice place to swim. Once again, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ranger Touring. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified when my videos are up. We've got a pretty consistent, there's going to be one every 3 weeks at the moment. So tune in for the remainder of the content throughout this year. It's going to be good. Thanks again.